Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, FF family. As always, my name is Dylan, and today it's our RE9 special. I'm going to be co-hosting with Bradley today. We're going to go all things pre-launch of Resident Evil 9. Bradley, how you feeling?
Can't wait. I have it pre-ordered. Obviously, I'm picking it up from Best Buy. Uh, I have a couple things to do on Friday, but my main thing is to play Resident Evil. And I was worried that the Scream 7 premiere, which is tomorrow, I thought it was
Yeah.
going to be Friday night, and I'm like, well, I love Scream 7, but I'm actually going to see Scream 7 tomorrow, Thursday night, so I get to spend most of the day playing Resident Evil.
Oh, easy peasy. Awesome. I I plan on picking up at 10 a.m. on Friday at GameStop is mine. And hopefully, I couldn't get the deluxe edition for everyone who doesn't know. Hopefully, I have a hookup that's going to hand me the steelbook. So I'm excited about that. Yeah. Just, hey, sometimes when you're nice to people, it pays off. So that's the lesson for today's
Right,
video is be
nice.
nice to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, behind the dumpster, I was super nice to
You were really
them.
nice to him.
Yeah, it was super great. My jaw still hurts. So I really want to get into this because I'm excited. I've been blasting Bradley with some ideas for the episode as we've been hinting about it for every short, every long form video this month leading up to Resident Evil 9. This is part of it. This also is not our final stop because we'll obviously have, I would assume next week we'll either all be through a playthrough on our next video, if not at least mostly done. So we give you like a first impressions, something there, or we'll do a deep dive into like a spoiler video. So to highlight this, to let you all know there are no story spoilers because we don't do story spoilers here ahead of, playing the video game. That kind of defeats the purpose in my eyes. And we haven't really dove too much into reviews. I have a little bit, Bradley has not at all. And so that's where we're at so far. And I'm sure when Scotty or Nick joins us next time, it'll be good to go over well. So, Bradley, I'm going to start off with you on here. What's your most excited part for RE9? Like, where are you getting off with right at the gate? Because I know mine.
I don't know because there's so many things I'm excited about. And like when you were talking about like the next time we talk, we'll probably have gone through one playthroughs. One of the things I love with Resident Evil is multiple playthroughs. So I'm going to say that. I don't know it's the one thing I'm most excited about, but I played Resident Evil 4 Remake probably like 10 times. And like I like going through it like on normal, on hard, on easy, or like on hard, but you have infinite ammo or whatever, right? Yep. And I don't know what it's going to be like. I don't know the replayability, but on Resident Evil 4, it's so, even the old one from 20 years ago or whatever was super replayable. So I'm going to say the thing I'm most excited about is multiple playthroughs and like experiencing things differently or like having more guns. One thing, and I'll stop talking, but I don't know if you remember on Resident Evil 4 playthrough, there's that one probably 5-10 minute section when you play with Ashley and she's like holding the lamp and you have to run through the nights.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what infinite ammo you have or anything, that playthrough is hard. So I'm wondering if this playthrough, if it's going to be like easier with Leon on the second playthrough, but what's the girl's name? Grace, but it's still hard with Grace. So I don't know. I'm excited either way.
So just to kind of cap off from what I know so far from reviews, it's not a whole lot, but the main things I'm hearing right now, it's sitting at an 88 on Metacritic, which is pretty huge for a Resident Evil game in general. And two, it's everybody that, like, the minimal that I have heard, they say this game is hella worth it. And they're like, they nailed it is the big thing. So that's what I know so far of this. And it's from people that I prefer, like I kind of align with when we're thinking about like, what's a good video game. So I'm excited for that. Mine are two things. I want to see not only the dual, play, like the dual protagonist back and forth where you're going, and we'll touch on this a little bit later, but we're kind of going more slow with Grace and then you're going more action orientated with Leon, right? I'm excited for that. but it's more so the gameplay, because when they talked in the trailers where you'll carry through a hallway with Grace and you come back through with Leon, it's like that cathartic, I'll be able to kill everything that gave me a hard time as as Grace, and I get to do it as Leon. And then when you come back as Grace in those areas, like you see what Leon did, like you
Wait,
see those motions.
is this from reviews? How do you know that that's what's going to happen?
It's in the trailers for them. They've talked
Oh,
about the director talks about it a few times. Like he also did you see the Nintendo Switch trailer he did?
no, I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't like I've been trying not to, like, you and I talked about this off camera, but I've been trying not to get ideas in my head, you know?
Okay.
Like, I don't want to think about certain parts, like, oh, this is that part. Like, there was a 30-minute gameplay, and I was like, oh, I need to watch this. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to watch it because I don't want to think about it when I'm playing it. I want to go into like, Scream 7's out, and I watch it tomorrow. I saw the first trailer that came out like several months ago. I don't remember anything, and I'm a huge Scream fan. It's one of my favorite franchises. And I know, like, I just made a video on it, but I don't want to know anything until I see it. I don't want to know reviews. I don't know if people like it, hate it, blah, blah, blah. So I'm trying not to get anything in my head and just experience it for the first time. So, like, you talking about, like, going through as Leon and then Grace, that's kind of a cool concept, but I had no idea. Is it Leon first and then Grace, or?
You go through I don't really know. From the conversations, like just the gameplay scene, it sounds like it's Grace, then you're Leon behind her, essentially.
Okay.
And then it, like, you'll go back and forth, but that could easily change at any point. I'm not sure. Who, for all we know, we start off with Leon just killing a bunch of stuff, and then it's like Grace for a while, then Leon falls.
Okay.
Like, I don't know.
I just thought of something.
Sure.
What is the Resident Evil? There's like 2 games. It's like Resident Evil something 1. What the hell are the names?
Revelations?
Revelations, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Resident Evil Revelations 2. I remember playing this. It came out in episodes on PS3 maybe. And like, as it was coming out on episodes, I would buy the episode, which was like $3 or $5 or whatever, wait a couple weeks, play the next episode, etc., etc. I just realized this right now because I've been talking about how much I'm not excited to play as, like, Leon, then Grace, then Leon, then Grace. Resident Evil Revelations 2, which I absolutely love, you play as Barry, and then Barry's daughter, and I forget who the other girl is. And I realized...
Isn't it Claire?
Huh?
Don't you play as Claire? Isn't Claire the other...
Is it Claire? I don't... It's...
I'm pretty sure it's Claire.
Okay.
Because it's like you have those two, and then it's Claire doing her own thing.
No. It's Barry by himself, and then it's the 2 girls, Barry's daughter, and maybe it's Claire. I don't know.
Okay, I didn't play Revelations. That's the one I did not do.
But I played it. It's awesome. And I realized I actually had fun playing as 2 different characters. So maybe that alleviates it a little bit. And like you said, Barry comes through after everything has happened with his daughter and the other girl. So okay. I didn't mean to cut you off, but like I just thought of that when you were explaining.
No, that's fine. And I guess this is a good opportunity to kind of go into it. So this has been the hot button topic I've wanted to talk to you about, because, and this is just the trailers and what's been talked about. The thought that the director wanted to do with this is, like, he directed RE7. He directed Revelations as well. I don't know if he did 2, but he directed, I think his first one was Revelations, at least the first one, 7, and now 9.
Okay.
And with each one of these, it's like Revelations, you can kind of see where he was like action-y with it, because I've watched gameplay of it and I can see it's sort of like action-y, horror-ish, I guess.
It's in the same vein as like 4.
Okay, fair. And so, which is crazy to think, like, how horror he went with 7, by the way. Like, that's crazy. So to start with, the director with this started with Revelations, directed 7, and now he did not do 8 or the other 2 remakes. He is directing 9. I think, one, regardless of anything that I've seen with, like, the small amount of reviews I've heard, the if they truly knock this out, that's impressive. And I'm going to harken back to, if this guy pulls this game off, he needs to be like the creative director of Resident Evil going forward. Because, like, who else do I don't want anybody, because it's going to be like a director you seeing like taking over a series or something.
Yeah.
And you're like, I just want the guy that did it right the first time. You know
Right.
what I mean? So don't get
I
me
mean,
wrong. He's one person.
He
You know, he's got to
already
have a
has
break.
a good reputation with 7. 7, in my mind, resurrected Resident Evil, right? Like, because at Resident Evil 6,
did.
people are like, whatever, like, I'm over it.
Yeah.
And then 7 came out, and it was scary as hell. It was fun. Everyone loved it. So he already has, like, a lot going for him. As long as this game is very good and doesn't suck.
Yeah. I think... It just kind of reminds me when you mentioned 6. Like when I did the short or the TikTok we had over, like I talked about the worst Resident Evil game. I mean, 6 in its faults, yes, there's a lot. But like if you think about the combat, so did you play it a lot at all, really?
I played it when it first came out, and played it for like a couple hours. I barely remember it, and I really was like, I just keep bouncing around between players, and when you play as Leon, you just keep circle kicking people, and I was like, whatever. And I haven't played it since.
And mine, so I did one playthrough of it, maybe like and some change later on, but mine was Leon too, because Leon's my favorite like main character. He's, you know, he's your 90s action cop, you know what I mean? So I started with him. I completed his playthrough, which I felt was a slog of a playthrough. I borrowed it from a friend. I was like, look, this was a fun day and a half weekend of playing this. I'm good.
Yeah.
And so there was it. And I probably came back to Sherry and Jake's story a little bit because I thought it would be more horror orientated, but it's the same thing, just in a different setting. That's what brings me back to what I was talking about initially with this, and why I bring up your concern of playing 2 protagonists. So for 6, I went into that blind, and I thought the idea was like, okay, well, come off of 5 and 4. It's probably like maybe Sherry and Jake were like super horror orientated. Leon's like in the middle, and then Chris is the action guy, right? Like that's kind of where I'm thinking. But it's not. You're the same thing 3, 4 times, however many freaking storylines there are.
Yeah.
You also talked about playing dual protagonists and hating it because of like The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Where I feel like The Last of Us problem is not necessarily besides the playing as the villain, right, for Last of Us 2, it's like not only do you hate the character, but you're not doing anything really different, right? Like does Abby play differently than the girl a lot?
Not really. She's a little more like, in the story, she is like part of a camp, so they have more like full machine guns, and like she has more access to like more ammo and bigger guns and stuff. So other than that, it's pretty much the same thing. And the more I think about it, the less I'm worried about it, like, because like I think The Last of Us 2 just ruined it, because I didn't like the game because the first half is Ellie and the second half is Abby. Is it Ellie? Is that her name?
Ellie.
And I'm just like, what, you know, what am I doing? I don't like this character. Spoilers, obviously. Abby kills Joel at the beginning of the game. Why would I want to play as her, you know? So
I feel like there was I don't mean to go on a topic of it, but I feel like that I haven't played it yet.
Yeah.
And I will eventually do a platinum review on both part 1 and part 2.
Yeah.
But like my thing is when it comes to that game, like they could have killed Joel, right? And I think that's fine, right? Like one of them probably needs to go. But my problem is like, yes, why play the character that killed him? And then why not keep Joel around in the story with like cool flashbacks potentially, you know? And like you see things that led up to his death maybe.
That does happen.
Okay, and there was just ass still?
I don't... A lot of people didn't like that they killed Joel. I didn't really care. The thing I didn't like was the Abby part. It's literally like a 20-hour game, 10 hours of Ellie to 10 hours of Abby. And the second half is just boring. Like, So that is what I didn't like. A lot of people didn't like that they killed Joel, and I get it because in the first game you play exclusively as
It's Joel, yeah.
So the second game it's like, hey, you're not playing as him anymore, which is whatever.
So, yeah. And so just to rein it back in, the reason I bring this up because the Resident Evil 9 game isn't a I think the biggest thing that makes it great is because it is actually combining what Resident Evil fans like, which is you have action fans and you have actual horror fans. And I lean into the horror side more than just like the action horror. But from the trailers and from what the director says, like this is pacing itself to where it's that cathartic feeling. And you'll get to experience both actually. And then when you do, he's in his words was like bringing up the monotony essentially, where you get a break from like, oh my God, I've got to worry as Grace if I have enough, I don't know what it is, if it's herbs or like maybe they go a different direction, like with 7 and 8, where it's like syringes or whatever, or like the water you spray on your hand and you're just healed. But it's actual different gameplay, right? Like you're just not a different game, but it's different, and I think that's the bonus. And the story, at least you're not playing some dickhead that killed like Chris Redfield or something. You know what I mean? And like, you gotta feel that. If you start off
the game with Leon and Grace kills Leon, and then you have to play as Grace, I would be like, screw this game. So I get what you're saying, and that's a good point.
So that it's like, not to harp on it, but I think just I get why you would feel that way, because the more I learn about The Last of Us 2, the more I'm like, okay, I get why you're worried for 9.
Yeah.
And it just makes sense. Like I can't blame you, because that's the only thing the more you've talked about it recently, I'm like, okay, I get why you would be upset. And when I eventually go through The Last of Us, because I'm going to be on a horror binge for a while here, that might be the next thing.
Yeah.
But I get it. Yeah. Now, moving on, so a little bit more history on this. So just overall, so what do you know? Let's talk about this. So what do you know specifically about RE9? And without like the reviews or anything like the actual how people have played it, we can talk about some missing gaps. So what do you know about RE9 so far?
All I really know is that you play. I watched the initial trailer with Grace and her mom. Was her mom like a scientist or maybe an FBI agent?
No. Do you want to know? Let me ask first.
I mean,
it is in the trailer, and she is a returning character actually.
Who is Grace or Grace's mom?
Her mom.
Who's her mom?
So her mother's name is Alyssa Ashcroft.
Oh.
She is a investigative reporter, and she's actually from Outbreak.
Outbreak. Okay, I never played
It's one of the spin-off games from PS2. There's Outbreak, and there's the File 2 Outbreak.
Okay.
Essentially, that game comprises of like cops. Like there's like 6-7 playable characters you can go through with that. And it's all those stories. She's one of them, and you don't know if any of them really survived. And besides now with her, they've canonically said obviously she lived through it.
Right.
Until she's dead.
What I know, so it's Grace Ashcroft, her mom is from Outbreak, and then there's Leon, and Leon goes back to Raccoon City at one point. And I'm very interested in that because obviously that there was the nuclear warhead that they dropped on the city, and it's been in game time 30 years.
At least, because it technically is 98 that happened. Something like that. So they are carrying over the real time. Like it is 26, I believe, right now for them.
So it's close to 30 years. So I'm very interested. And if you watch the trailers, or at least just some of the gameplay, it looks like he's shooting straight up zombies again, And we haven't had zombies since Resident Evil 3?
I mean, do we count? We can't count the from 4 because that's like the Las Plagas.
Yeah, and it's the same thing in 5. And who are the people in 6? Are they zombies?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I didn't. Yeah.
At maybe 6, but 3 essentially. Resident Evil 3 is the last time we had zombies.
We know that it's this plan of Elpis, the guy Victor, I think is the villain's name. It's the plan of Elpis, so whatever it is. I think he's got a new T virus essentially. So yes, and the only difference they have that we know of right now is they retain their memories as people. So like that's why you see like the girl like cleaning the mirror as like you're sneaking around his Grace and stuff. So that's like its shtick. So I wonder how that plays. I bet, if I'm thinking about it, I bet that's a gameplay mechanic where you'll like mess up I don't know if this would be it, but like you mess up the mirror and she'll get distracted and need to clean it again and you can like walk by her. I bet that's something. That'd be kind of cool. But that's what we know. I mean, obviously, if you're dumb and go through spoilers, no offense, then that's what we know so far.
Yeah. I've been watching the Resident Evil movies with Alice, Mila Jovovich, and the first two are like, the first one's like kind of based on the game. The second one is like a little bit more based on the game. And then after that, it's like, no, we're not doing the game anymore. It's just zombies. Like, we just have zombies. And then, like, we have the characters, like Claire Redfield, but she's not the same. They just
it's
used
not
her
Claire,
name. Right?
Like in the second one, that's not Jill,
right?
You know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
it's
the second
Jill.
one is like kind of Jill. Like she's part of our. Well, she stars. Yeah, she stars. So, and she's wearing the outfit. Like, so she's kind of like that. But in the third one, we have Claire. The fourth one, we have Chris, and it has to do is zombies. They use Umbrella and T-Virus, but it's nothing the games. Like, they go to Alaska and like Vegas, and it has nothing to do with the games. And so anyways, my point is, like, it kind of reminds me of like that desolate world that they built in the movies, of maybe that this is what Leon's gonna do, is like have that desolate Raccoon City world, which would be cool. I don't know what's gonna happen though.
Man, another thing I'm thinking of, like, is super cool about it is in the last, like, well, besides the Nintendo Switch trailer, I call that out because I think it's cool. The director talks about his he played Nintendo when he was a kid, and one of inside of Revelations, there's a zombie that has a shield on their arm, and when you shoot them, it'll like lift it up to defend itself against you.
Yeah.
And he said he got that from Link's Awakening 2. There's a boss you have to fight. It's like a knight, and he does the same thing.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. That's where he got that from.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, because he goes, I'm a big Nintendo head. Now, I'm sure he is, but like, he's on the Nintendo Switch commercial. Like, he's gonna say that, you know. But like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's some level of validity to it.
Yeah.
But it's just cool. Like, regardless if it's fake or not, whatever, it's cool that he's like a gamer. You know,
sure, yeah.
Like, it's cool that like, you see people truly involved in it. You know, I just think those are cool.
It's like, okay, I'll go on a little bit of a rant. It's like when you get people who don't like the content that they're making. I think they did that with, what's the Henry Cavill show on Netflix?
The Witcher.
The Witcher. Yeah, like he loves The Witcher. He loves gaming and World of Warcraft. But he said like he had a little bit of a feud with some of the writers, because the writers are like, we don't like sweaty, like, loser incel gamers, like, we're trying to be like modern, blah blah blah. And he's like, make it for gamers, you know, like, make it the story.
I mean, it's a video game, you know.
and essentially they ruined it. And I watched a little bit of it, and I played the game also. I didn't understand the game or the show, but like so
they were consistent. That's good.
Like, make it for the fans, you know. Like, they do this all the time. Like, Taika Waititi did Thor 3 and Thor 4, and Thor 4, everyone, including myself, just hated, and he's like, I will ruin your lore like this. And he like kind of thought it was cool to do that, but instead it's like, well, you did ruin it and we didn't like it, so we don't want to see that anymore, you know. And even Chris Hemsworth was like, yeah, maybe we didn't go in the right direction. So my point is, I like when people who like the things that they're doing do it. Like the director is someone who likes games and isn't like, screw, fat white gamers in their mom's basement. Like, he's like, no, this is awesome. I love it. He's one of us.
Yeah. It's like, what do you gain from doing that too? You know what I mean? Because at that point in time, you're just pissing people off and you want them to buy your product.
Yeah.
Like I've never understood that, because it's that way with like freaking, what is it, Star Wars. Like you had multiple, because you just have so many directors doing so many different projects, and it just pisses people off for no reason. Why?
Yeah.
Like, I get the idea. Wait, let's go turn this on its head. Let's do something different, right?
Sure.
But if your sole intention is like, yeah, I want to piss everybody off because I have a boner of hating everything, you know what I mean? It's like, what are you, like, it just doesn't make sense. And you want me to buy your product, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't really care about like your personal whatever the hell, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. But like, if you're going to influence that, at least be good at trying to like turn it on its head and not just go with the intention of pissing somebody off just to do so. Yes, okay. I agree.
One last thing.
Sure.
The newest trilogy of Halloween, which I like, I don't love, but David Gordon Green made 3 movies. He made Halloween 2018, he made Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends. And in Halloween Ends, it's like barely has Michael Myers in it. And if you watch interviews, he's like, yeah, we're not doing a Michael Myers versus Laurie Strode movie. This is something else. And I've grown to kind of appreciate that movie a little bit. But like, why? Like, we don't watch Halloween. Like, if you're going to do it, go a different direction because it's cool, but don't do it because like, hey, screw you if you want Halloween that you're used to. Like, he made a new trilogy. Make it what you've, committed to.
Yeah, I mean, it's the point.
Yeah.
Once again, it's the point you do it, and you're like surprised Pikachu face when people have a problem of some level, Like, it's like, well, what happened? Why is that? It's just stupid. Anyway, so thinking about it going forward, I think, yes, this guy definitely has the right ideas with it. I mean, plus he's been around since Revelations, and at least from there, you can see the involvement, which is nice. And it's rightfully so. I think a lot of people, which once again, including myself, have worries that this just goes off the beaten path in the end. And just seeing like, hey, it's like getting the high 80s, at least right now in the Metacritic for people across the board. At least it feels like, okay, at least it doesn't go off the rails at some point, at least hopefully, because who knows? Like, you and I could play it and then we're just like, what the F did I just play? Right. It was so good. And then I don't know, who knows? Maybe you go to the RPD super early and that's just like the what's the word I'm looking for? Like it fakes you out, like that's later in the game, but it's like out the gate. It's just ass from that point, Like, who knows? It could also be bad.
I don't think this is gonna happen based on what we know, but like, what if like Leon dies pretty early on, and then you play as Chris or Grace a bunch? That would be. As long as Grace doesn't suck, that would be kind of fun. Like, you blast through with Leon and then he freaking dies. You know what? Okay, since we're on Resident Evil, why, like, okay, I was thinking about this when watching the movies. Like, if you get bit, you're dead. You need like the antivirus, which I don't think they talk about much in the game, but they talk about in the movies. But in the games, you can get bit by a zombie multiple times until like you die, right? And I get it's a game mechanic because it's not like you get bit, you turn into a zombie, you're dead. That would be a boring game. But like, I wonder if like something's wrong with Leon. Is it like 'cause he got bit? And like, 'cause he gets bit, like he's in what, 2 and 4, right?
Yeah.
And 6, but he definitely got bit at least a couple times in 2 and 4, So like, is that why there's something wrong with him? Like, that's a little bit of like a continuity error. So, and you made that video, like what was your video? It's like, what's missing, or what do you hope that they fix that's missing in Resident Evil?
Basically there's plot threads they need to wrap up. Like, they've laid them, they just can't, they never pick them up.
And I'm just totally making this up. but maybe this is one of them, right? Like,
It could be.
how many times
I mean,
did
they did it
Leon
with
get
8.
bit,
They did
you
it
know?
with 8. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the whole thing with Ethan. That was they have. It was one thing I really loved about 8 was. It was just so ridiculous. Like you're going against Dimitrescu, right? And you're running away from her in the palace underground, right? And you reach for the lever or whatever, and she cuts off your
And
hand.
yeah.
Yeah. And then you're going, you escape, you go up the elevator, and he's like, oh, adoy, and then like does the
That
water on
works.
it. Yeah, all right, we're good.
Yeah.
Now, as I'm saying that, I think I do remember if you play in 7, like that the liquid I think is like a mixture of green herbs, is like how they made those,
Yeah.
by the way. Now I was thinking about that. But regardless, like it shouldn't heal your thing. And even in 7, if you go out against Jack and you know the hatch you go under to get away from him the first time to get to the save room in the closet area.
Maybe.
If you get caught by him, there's a pattern where he will catch you in that room with the hatch, and he'll cut off your foot.
Oh yeah.
With a shovel or whatever he's carrying around. And that happens, and you crawl and you'll get it, and then you go down the hatch.
Oh yeah. That's
and
like
once
right in the beginning of the game.
Yeah, exactly. It's before he becomes like the true stalker, where now you'll have to go around him as you walk through the mansion.
Right.
And he does the same thing there. But what I was saying was, like, in 8, at least they give you an in-universe, like, lore reason that he's a mold.
Because he's
like
infected, yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. Because, like, you'll write it off as, like, oh, it's just some stupid video game Resident Evil shit, right?
Yeah.
And then they make a thing. Now, I did look it up, and technically, I think the Capcom answer to this is that canonically you never get bitten because it's never happened in a cutscene. So if it happened in a cutscene, it's like a canon thing. You never do as in-game, technically.
Yeah.
So it's plot armor. It's silly.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I get it. Like, it's a game. You have to, you have to go along with it. But I just thought that'd be cool. But
yeah, no, I agree. I think that'd be awesome because maybe like Elpis, because something's with Grace. Like the dude Victor wants Grace because like she carries something in her, and I think that also, to go back to your earlier question, that ties in with Alyssa, because if he wants Grace, that means Alyssa got out with Outbreak for some reason.
Does Outbreak take place in Raccoon City?
Or, I was thinking it was Alice for a second. Yes, it does.
Okay.
It is before the blast.
Okay, gotcha.
And with them, they do go through, like, they try to get a serum called, like, the Sunshine or the Sun something. Daylight. The Daylight. And that was what's injected into her, and that's the thought right now is the Elpis connection is they need their blood to get that serum. Now, my guess, I don't know anything, very clear, it could be completely wrong. My guess is that Elpis is Victor's plan to make, like, because he's a umbrella guy. So I'm assuming he's making the zombies, so that way there's the same reason as Spencer did. We're trying to progress human evolution, yada yada. But there's something with the blood that allows him either to maintain the zombie outbreak or further that plan of his, to evolutionize
what
people.
If it's just like a straight up T-Virus 2.0? Like, that would be fun, you know? Like, cause and like you talked about it in your video, like Blue Umbrella or whatever. Like, what if maybe he's an agent of them, or like, what if it's just like, it's just a second T-Virus? It doesn't have to be called T-Virus, but they try it again, you know, and it doesn't work. That would be awesome.
Sincerely, I hope it is. Like, I hope it's something, because like what I was talking about with the connection, because you saw that in 7's the connections. Like, they're laid out to be the new Umbrella villains.
Right.
Like, that's who they're supposed to be. They didn't make the mold, but the Megamycete, but they're making bioweapons from it. Like, they're the reason Evelyn exists.
What about Las Plagas from 5 and 6, right?
Yeah.
Or no, 4 and 5.
4 and 5.
Who did that?
That was Spencer. That's the initial start from the T-Virus, is how he got it from there. So Mother Miranda and her adventures in Eastern Europe. Spencer visited Europe, got lost. Miranda found him. She was already getting infected with the megamycete and everything. She already
Yeah.
found it. And then he got inspiration to just basically create Umbrella from her by just the plan. That's why the symbol of Umbrella is there, because that's where he got the symbol from. That's and then so now separate from that, he's got the idea from her of like evolution. Then he finds where the T virus is from the progenitor plant thing. Like you remember that the tomb or whatever you walk in as Chris and the girl, I forget her name.
In 5.
Yeah.
I don't want to say her name because I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, I know. I got it. But is Sheva? That's right, Sheva, right?
I think.
Okay, I'm gonna say Sheva for now. You can hate me in the comments. It's fine.
Yeah, Sheva. You're right.
Okay. So, like, Chris and Sheva walk into that room where it's all the plants that are like falling out into on the stone pavement thing, whatever. And you see that in the end of 4, where Wesker's on the screen, like he sees that. Anyway, long story short, he gets the virus from that plant, like he extracts it out of there. Like he comes up with a way to do so, and that's where the T virus comes from.
Okay.
To answer your question.
So they're all like 1 through 5 are all related, and maybe 6 because we don't remember what happens in 6.
Yeah, whatever.
But 1 through 5, like the T virus and Las Plagas, like they're the same general thing.
Yeah, there's just
7,
a huge different strands.
Is Miranda the main bad at the end of 8? Like the lady you fight?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is also connected. Right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So it's all connected. Okay. Sometimes I forget the lore of these games and how much they connect. And
Yeah.
like I haven't played 5, and other than us trying to play it like a year ago, I haven't played it in I don't know how long, so that makes sense. So they're all it's all kind of connected in a way.
Yeah, 100%. They're just one of the cool things. I think my buddy Light, who I read with, he was talking about with Resident Evil. One of the cool things about it is you don't need to play any of them to like play any of them.
Yeah,
and I do agree. I think that's good, and it's also frustrating for me because I love the connecting stories. Like when they bring in from like 2, and it's like here's 5 now, and we're bringing into what this matters, or from 1 at the very beginning. And Resident Evil 8 is talking about, well, yeah, she's the reason Spencer had this idea to create Umbrella the whole time.
It makes sense because, well, for one, these games span almost 30 years. So to act like...
Over 30 years, right?
1998, and it's 2026.
Oh, was that?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like 94 for some reason. Okay, my bad.
But somewhere around there, right? 30-ish years. So unless...
Yeah, we're close.
Unless everyone is like in our late 30s or mid 30s like us, right, or older, they need to do that. And like I'm going through this book series, and each book is like a sequel to the next book, but you could technically pick up that book and not have read the other books, and like they kind of explain what happened. Like they kind of like thread it through the book of what happened in the previous books, which is fine. I don't really notice that much. For me, I see it as a recap of the last book. But for other people who haven't read the other books, you can just pick up that book and go. So it does make sense that you don't want it to be like, here's Resident Evil 9. You have had to have played 1 through 8, to play this. Like, because otherwise, like, you're the people who play the games would just get smaller and smaller and smaller,
Yep. And like you'll see, like through me, I basically what I did was I didn't have time to do 7, but I was gonna I did platinum 2 remake, 3 remake, and 4 is almost done. I may be able to do it tomorrow. It's very close, but I do kind of want to. I kind of want to get that done.
Because once you get to Friday, you're screwed. You're not playing it.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, and then it'd be so lame to have to play another 2-3 hours just to complete the run. Because I'm at right now the last professional run I need to do to get the S+ to unlock the standard and hardcore achievement. Which is so silly that you can't just do hardcore to unlock the hardcore and standard run version, because I want to do it all at once.
That's kind of lame.
And it's also lame because like I did it on Steam or the PC already. Like this will be one of the few games I've technically platinumed twice in my life.
Okay.
But I had to do it because I'm crazy. Anyway, super fun. And just going back to 4, by the way, what a freaking joy that game is.
Yeah,
like,
and can I just say your bullshit ranking of the remakes game having 4 third?
It's just so close though.
That's such BS, and you know it. There's no way the effing GameCube remake of Resident Evil 1 ranks ahead of Resident Evil 4.
Have you played it though?
Yes, I have. I own it. And I play it. But Resident Evil 4 is the remake is an absolutely amazing game. Like how many times are you gonna go back and replay the remake of Resident Evil 1? Maybe once.
Okay, it'll probably one more time because I want to platinum that eventually.
But you could be like, oh, let me go just do a quick run in Resident Evil 4.
Well, I've already done more than that with this platinum.
That's my
point,
I'm at
twice
right?
now.
Yeah, that's my point.
Okay, well, whatever, Bradley. I don't get this logic that you're bringing to this right now.
I'm just saying, everyone does
okay,
Resident
so
Evil.
like what happened, like, okay, so for me, Resident Evil, I started with technically 4.
Yeah.
But for a while, I didn't play it just because I got busy. I was a kid, whatever. And I picked up again on the GameCube 0. And 0 is the first game I beat in Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Then I beat 4. Then I beat the HD 1 remake on there. And I still have them over there too.
Yeah.
And it's just always
it's like a little kid nostalgia thing. You have
100%.
Yeah, I mean, I remember playing PlayStation Resident Evil, like 1 and 2 with like the slow fixed camera, choppy graphics. And then the graphic of the door opening. I remember that, and like obviously I was a kid. Like I was like 10 years old when I played them. The first one and the second one, and I barely remember them. So the remakes help, but I know what you're saying. It doesn't make you any less wrong.
Okay, well, RE2 remake is definitely the best.
That one I get because like you love that one, and I like it too. Yeah. So that one's like between 2 and 4 is just your personal preference.
Yeah, but like I said too, I'm also more of like the survival horror, kind of style, and that one to me has the perfect blend of a little actiony, but it's more so when you unlock stuff later.
Right.
And like when you're, especially your second playthrough, you can just go in as an action game, and that is so fun.
Yeah.
That especially, I think, even more so than Resident Evil 4 remake, has like one of the best new game pluses you can do is the RE2 remake. That's
because of Claire, like because you can play it as Claire.
Yeah, it's a mixture of the new game plus like bringing over guns and stuff, and I like the RPD a lot as a setting, and it's the different, like you can literally do a parallel story thing that's really cool.
Okay, gotcha.
Now back to 9 though. You kind of touched on this a little bit, and I wanted your opinion. What do you think like the big lore stuff that is going to hit here? Do you think they tie in a lot? Or do you think, like, because you mentioned about the T-virus, do you think that's where they land with this and just do their own thing?
Yeah.
Where are you at with, like, lore on this?
I guess there's a difference between what I think and what I want to happen. So I'm just going to throw it all out there. One of 3 things. 1, I loved 7 and 8. And they did kind of conclude Ethan at the end of 8, right? Like, he dies. But his daughter kind of takes over, right? What's his daughter's name? Not Ashley. I want to say Ashley.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. What game again? I just blanked.
8.
Heavy.
Ethan Winter's daughter.
Rose.
Rose. Okay, so she gets like powers or whatever, right? So
yes, Shadows of Rose DLC.
So what's up with that? Like, are we done with that? So that's the thing too. That's in the future at this point. So canonically, that's it's after. Shit, you're right.
Yeah, I know. So that's another thing too. Is like with that game, what's going to happen is they're going to do 2 things. One, we're going to have to go to Resident Evil 10 with old man Chris and Leon if he's even alive at the end of this one. So either it's going to be way in the future because Chris is still alive at that point in the future because she says like, I've got powers even Chris doesn't know about. You know what I mean? Because she's like mad at that dude.
I didn't even think about that because she's a baby in 8, so she'll be like, she's like 3 or 4 years old, so she's not part of it.
Well, and the other thing they can do is they can retcon because of how Evelyn is. Remember, Evelyn, like, she's the old lady in the Game of 7, and that's because it rapid aged her. So they could say, like, they could do some her.
Okay, so that's one.
There is that. Yeah.
Okay, so what's up with the Winters? Like, is 7 and 8 like it's in its own world? So that's 1. 2 is this just another T virus or connected to Umbrella? 3 is maybe this is just the start of its own new trilogy or new story, right? That in the end they connect once the writers figure it out in 5-10 years, right?
If Grace pops off as like a fan favorite, you know, I fully believe this could be a Winter's trilogy. Well,
yes,
let's all be honest. It was supposed to be a trilogy. Like, it was supposed to be 7, 8, 9 as a trilogy. I remember they can't gaslight me. I remember them
I don't know what you're talking about. They never said that.
Shut up, Bradley. Like, there was a Winter's trilogy plan. Like, it was 7, 8, 9. 8 was done. They're like, oh, we're good. Like, you know, like, I distinctly remember that.
Grace is like, okay, in 7, Ethan is kind of like incompetent, right? He's just a guy. So, and it's really the first time you play as that. And so to me, Grace is like that. Like, she's like Ethan in the 7. Like, she doesn't know how to handle a gun well. In 8, he gets better at handling a gun, you know?
Well, she is an FBI agent.
Oh, Grace is?
Yeah.
What the hell? Isn't she like stumbling around and stuff?
Well, Bradley, okay, you go to an insane asylum, like, haunted, zombie-filled place and makes, like, you don't stumble around.
There's Bradley the gamer or Bradley the FBI agent.
Okay, well, there's also Bradley, the guy who's just the analyst that sits at a desk at the FBI who had, like, a few rounds at a
Is she an
FBI
analyst
range.
or is she, like, a agent, right?
She's
like,
an analyst.
That's
She's an analyst.
Okay, so an analyst... she's not like, she doesn't go around popping people, right? Like, she's like a nerdy lady. Just because she works for the FBI doesn't make her like strong and tough. That's my point.
Right.
Is like, she's not like a tough cop.
Well, I just didn't want you to be surprised that she can handle a weapon. That's all I mean.
I
like,
know.
There's a reason she can do it.
Yeah, okay. I guess my thought is like, there's like Leon, who's a badass, Chris, who's like an ultra badass, like Jill,
super soldier,
Jill,
Halo
Claire,
Chief, like
they're
Master
all cops,
Chief.
They're all badasses. Ethan is like a guy, you know? And so my thought is she may be really smart or whatever, but she's not like pop, 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 you know, John Wick style where Leon is. So that's like when it comes to gameplay. I forgot how we got onto this, but
I did too.
Like,
it was cool,
maybe Resident Evil 10, she could be even better at her guns.
And,
you know?
The lore implication. That was the where you think they go from. So I do think, I hate to say it, but the most I think they'll go through, I think the Winters, they're just scrapping on this. But they might mention like, so it real quick. If you go to 7, it was either Alyssa, which I think it was Alyssa. There's if you go to that main hall where you get the shotgun in 7. You know?
Yep.
Okay. In that main hall, on the table, there's a newspaper, like, investigative report by Alyssa Ashcroft. She's there. Like, it was about
Grace's mom.
Yeah. It was her talking about, like, disappearances and, like, the mold, basically. She was on the case early, is all it is. Now, I don't know if it was Alyssa or Grace there, to be fair. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it was Alyssa, to be clear. So someone can correct us on that. Okay. But regardless, I think the most we get, I think the Winters part is done for now. But I think it's the BSAA part from 8 where they're either going to be the connection now that like is funding Victor or whatever his name is. I think that's the most we get because I would be so mad if we get no connection with the BSA. Like, you're just going to leave us with Chris going off to Europe to fight the BSAA or, like, say, what the F are you guys doing? And we just get nothing from that? Like nothing at all. Like you need to give me something. You need to allude that like a side game is coming out and we
Right.
will get Chris doing that.
Yeah.
Or two, we just get that like, hey, it's not happening now, but here's an update. You know what I mean? Like I need something or
I
I'm going to be
agree.
pissed.
I think as long as they let us know that something's gonna happen, but like I could see them being like we're starting not starting over, but like we're done with the winters, like you said. Here's 9, 10. We're gonna keep going with this story, like with Chris and what we learned from 9. So I think that's possible. They may abandon Ethan, but I don't think they'll abandon Chris's storyline.
Yeah, I
That's
think
my guess.
At least you can say with Ethan, at least his story's done.
Yeah, he
You know what I mean?
dies and he's over. You know.
Whoa! Spoilers.
Yeah, if you're first of all, I already said that like 5 times. Second is Resident Evil 9.
Irrelevant.
So if you're 50 minutes into this video, you've seen him die.
Yeah. So I'm okay with like the Ethan part, even though he's one of my favorite characters in Resident Evil. Yeah. Because it's just a normal dude.
Yeah, he's a regular guy.
Yeah, I really liked it. And I just think I want whatever they want to do. Okay.
Wait,
I
what
just
happened
need that
to
PSA.
Mia? Is Mia dead?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Like, we have no idea. Like she did she didn't die at the end of 8.
Right.
Because she's on the plane with Chris, right?
Yeah.
But also, where was she with like Mia or with Rose the whole time? Because we had a whole Rose DLC of her going into the Mega Mycete Psyche to like break her powers from it. It was a horrible DLC.
There's no
I hated
way they
that.
just forgot about this. There's got to be something more. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe she's a horrible mom and just wants to leave. At least that would be an answer. You know what I mean? But like we don't have anything with it. We don't know. We don't know what she's at. We don't know why she wasn't with Rose at the end of it, of like her going to the gravesite. Because if she was like in the car when she got there with Rose at the grave, she was like, honey, you know you can't do that. And they like go off. And then another thing too is like, why is Ethan waiting for them at the end of that long driveway over and you see the silhouette of him or whatever it is?
Yeah.
Like there's more to him.
There's something we're missing. We don't technically know it's Ethan, right? Like
you don't technically, but like you can see it's
assume
him.
It's yeah, there's something missing. I have a feeling that maybe at the end of this game there'll be like a small crossover and they'll tell us like we'll get more later. Or maybe they'll just be like, screw it. I don't know, because it's not like 7 and 8 were bombs and they're just like, shit, we need to start over. Those are good games.
We need to redo
they sold
it.
well. People loved them. I don't know.
But who knows? Maybe not. Maybe we don't get anything anymore. Who knows?
Who knows?
Because like that's the thing with Resident Evil, though. Even though I will be, we can't be upset if they don't connect them because they usually don't connect them.
But we just talked about they're all technically connected, right?
But not in like direct, because like in between 6 and 7, you don't know what Leon's been up to in between then.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like that's what I mean. It'll be a while until the connection's made.
But
is what I mean.
The end, they're always like 4 and 5 are connected with the T virus.
Yeah.
Ethan, the mold, that's all connected. Yeah. Like they are all connected in the end.
I think they honestly spoiled like the fan base with 7 and 8 with having just a direct from 7 to 8 is a sequel.
It's like a direct sequel, yeah.
And I loved that. I thought that was like finally a Resident Evil like that. I loved. You can kind of make the argument that 2 and 3 are like that because they're more so like parallel sequels because it's Jill and Leon at the same time and Claire. But yeah, I don't know. I'm betting that we don't get the connection. I have a feeling. I feel like, no pun intended, the connection will be the organization is like funding Victor or making Elpis or whatever the virus is that's happening right now. Or the reason we didn't even touch on this, but there's the Raccoon City syndrome I made the short on.
Yeah.
That could also be affecting on this because whatever reason, everybody that was in the original Raccoon City and got out has this syndrome that's killing them. That's what's killing Leon.
What was the pun? Even if it wasn't intended.
Oh, it's because inside 7, the people that made the mold into Evelyn, that the villains is the connection. That's their name.
The Connections?
Yeah, that's
Oh.
their name. That's the
Oh, okay.
organization.
I was like, I missed the
Oh,
unintended pun.
yeah. When I was saying the connections earlier, I was talking about the organization, not like the connections of the world or whatever.
Got it. Got it. Got
Yeah, yeah.
it.
So like those are, I that's what I'm saying. I think if I had to big brain this or them trying to make it all the same, Blue Umbrella was introduced with Chris at the end of 7. The
Mhm.
connections are the villains. BSAA is a now using bioweapons at the end of 8 confirmed, and they're using it while Chris is like a rogue person. I forgot what Chris is now. Like I don't know what he is in 8. He's like his own
Yeah, I don't.
thing, or is he with the BSA? Maybe he's
I
with Blue
I thought
Umbrella.
he was
I
still
think
with them. Yeah.
like okay, so he's with Blue Umbrella, and then
Yeah.
he left BSA. Okay, right. Regardless, if Blue Umbrella is truly good, okay, cool, whatever. That'd be cool if they can like bring that up. But I'm telling you, if they're making BSAA bad, it's because they're going to be the connection. Like they are now. This is the pun. They're connected between the two,
Yeah.
and I think it just
Yeah.
as a story plot thing. I think it just makes sense for them just to move on from like two separate problems and just put them together.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
I think just storytelling, I just think it makes sense, and they'll loop them in together, and they're just the same problem now.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Maybe. I'm excited.
That's my lore implication. That's what's to wrap up finally that piece.
Yeah.
That's what I think it is.
Overall, I don't know if I'm more excited for the story or playing the game, because I love the Resident Evil stories, you know?
Yes.
They're fun.
If this is getting the praise it is, it sounds like we're getting both.
Yeah.
It really does. My final thoughts.
Okay.
So I will, we can end on this.
Yeah.
Final thoughts for me. I think this is going to be, if done well, my second favorite Resident Evil game. Because I don't know if you can top 7 for me.
Okay.
I don't think. Because mine goes 7, RE2 remake, RE4 remake, even though, as I said in my short, they're very close, Bradley, just to be very clear. And then, like, and then it's the 1 remake right below 4. Like, it's a better remake, but,
Yeah.
you know. It would notch down RE2 remake. I don't know if it can.
I mean,
but
it could be your favorite one. You know?
yeah,
Like,
because it's the guy that made 7. So if like Grace is really fun and like the survival horror I really love,
Sure.
and I can just kick ass 5 minutes later as Leon, I'm in.
I like your final thoughts. My final thoughts are it needs to be at least as good as 8, because 7 is an amazing game. Remake of 2 and 4 are they're like top tier 10 out of 10 games, right?
Yeah, they are.
8
Yep.
8 isn't, but it's still a very, very good game. So my thought is it has to be as good as 8. And saying it has to be as good as 7, 2, or 4 remake is pretty tough to say. So if it's as good as 8, I'm happy. If it's like,
yeah, I agree.
Anything less, then I'm like, does that make sense what I mean though?
Yeah, 100%. Because it's sort of like, I think Village or 8 is like one of my favorite stories in a Resident Evil game.
I love 8. It's just not as good as 7 or the
No, that's
2
what
remakes.
I mean.
Yeah.
And that's like that list I gave you, it's not up there.
Right, yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's not a great game.
Right, exactly.
It's awesome.
That's exactly my point. It has to be right around there.
Yep. Because I like, even though I mentioned about the old games that I played, like the new, like from 7 forward generation, basically I call it the RE Engine Resident Evil games.
Right.
Ever since we've had those, I've just like, those have just been better each time, it feels like. Besides 8. 8 was the and 3 remake, but that's another story. But it's been better each time, if not as good as it was previously.
Yeah.
Generally. So that's my first one. My second thing, I will call it now. I think it's going to be first, I think it's going to be my second favorite Resident Evil. 2, I think Leon's dead. Okay. I think they kill him. I think it's just, they got to kill somebody, I feel like. And it's just, they're setting up Leon to have this like return to Raccoon City. they're gonna bring him into like fighting off everything, and he gets to save the city at the end. Is my thought,
Yeah.
or whatever he's there for, and then he has to like. I don't think he dies to the virus. I think he just dies to trying to save people.
Yeah,
That's my
maybe
thought.
you're right. I don't know, because technically he's been gone. Like he hasn't been gone for us because we had the 2 and 4 remake, but he hasn't been around for like 20 years since Resident Evil 4, you know, which was a long time ago.
Well, no, he's 6. He was there for 6.
Oh yeah, and 6.
Yep.
Whatever. But he's...
And don't even get started on the movies. Those animated movies where, do you remember the one where they all went to the island together?
Resident Evil, I forget the name of it, yes.
But you know what I'm talking, the animated one, right? That is canon. They all went there too. I don't know where, I didn't watch that, but that is a canonical moment where they had the Avengers of Resident Evil characters on this island for some reason, and I think it's stupid, so.
All
right. Anything else?
I'm pumped.
Yep. Next time you see us, everybody, we will be Resident Evil 9'd out of our minds or tired of it and never want to talk about it again. We're playing
what
8
if we
again
freaking hate it?
I know, you just expect me. I won't tell you why, but I will tell you if I hate it. Like, as soon as I'm like, it's going to be like Silent Hill 2, where I was like, man, this game kind of sucks. And then I got to the apartments like, no, this game's awesome.
Yeah.
You'll hear that from me for sure at some point of if I'm feeling it or not. But if it's bad, I'm not gonna.
I doubt we'll hate it. Sad. But I mean, there's no, you know, just because it has good reviews doesn't mean we'll like it. But we'll see.
Yep.
We'll probably love it. I mean.
Yep. All right, well, that's it, everybody. I appreciate everyone joining us for the Resident Evil 9 special. As always, my name is Dylan. I was co-hosting today with B-Rad. We'll see you all for the next one. Thanks for joining us. Have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Peace.
Adios.